My name is Elizabeth Halen. I've been in Philadelphia 22 years, but before that I was born in Nashua, New Hampshire. This is called the Flying Monkey Bakery, and I've owned it since 2010. So I'd always been a baker my whole life. My mom was a really good home baker, and we spent a lot of time together in the kitchen. And I actually moved to Philadelphia to get my PhD in sociology up at Temple. But I am a very successful graduate school dropout. Halfway through, I decided school in social research wasn't really for me, and I'd always had a part-time job baking, and I decided to devote my life to it full-time, and it has been a much happier and sweeter endeavor for me. So I worked for a bakery that was here in the spot before I bought it, and it was like a struggling cupcake shop, but I was her early morning baker, so I came in and just baked some stuff, and then I left to go to my second and third job. It was also like way back in 2008, and like that's when like cupcakes were like at their peak like trendiness. But I saw the potential for like a full service bakery in here, because people would always ask us, like when I was working for her, well, where are your brownies and where are these things and where's that? And she was just like, I just do cupcakes. So, and I knew she wanted to sell it, so I just took the opportunity and I bought it from her. I was very lucky because it's hard to get into this space. There's a lot of competition. I knew there was the desire and the money out there for more products. So it was like knowing that I was in the right place at the right time and seizing that opportunity. So I like baking and running a business for a variety of reasons. One of the things I really like about baking is that you can start and finish something within like a reasonable amount of time, like in a day. So in my previous life, when we did research, it took months and months and months, and you never really got to like, ooh, this final product. But even doing dishes here is really satisfying. You take a big pile of mess and you clean it up and you turn it into a big pile of clean, and it just is very satisfying on a daily basis. And I'm a natural leader and I like being in charge, so owning a business was, that was an easy transition for me. I don't like sitting in front of a computer doing somebody else's work. I really like to be moving around and active when I do my job, and this is a really cool place to own a business in Reading Terminal. So you guys just walked up and you could see Dan making some brownies and I was frosting this cake, and there's that constant social interaction all day with people from in the city and from folks who like travel here as a tourist destination. So we're famous for making like regional treats. So whoopie pies are a big thing in Pennsylvania. They're also a big thing where I grew up in New Hampshire. So it was just sort of a logical segue for me to turn those childhood sweets that I'd really been fond of into something that I could sell and be profitable as a business. We're also really famous for Philadelphia butter cake, which if you've never had it, it's totally worth a try. It's delicious. I never want to be much bigger than I am right now. Maybe a second location where we like pack and ship stuff, but I don't really want to be like, Tasty Cake big. I don't want to work in a factory. I don't want to manage that many hundreds of people. Post-pandemic, we have 7 employees, not including myself. Like I know all my employees' names and their cats' names and like what they had for dinner last night, and like that's the kind of vibe that I really like at work. It's my favorite place to come. I was just away for 2 weeks actually on vacation. I couldn't wait to come back and bake something because it had been a long time since I'd used a mixer or baked cookies. And I find a lot of joy in feeding people. So I like to tell people that I'm in the happiness business. So like if people come to my counter and they leave upset, I've done something terribly wrong, because it should be really easy to make someone happy after you give them a whoopie pie, right? Even when they have to buy it. It's like, oh, well, this was delicious and this was worth my money, and that is very satisfying. Being in a kitchen environment, it's not for everybody. You have to want to stand up on your feet all day long and really not like take a lot of breaks, and you really have to have a passion for what you do. People ask me all the time, like, how did you get into this? And I suggest taking something that you already like doing and seeing if you like doing it for profit. because sometimes you can turn a hobby into something and then it becomes a miserable thing, like you don't get joy out of it anymore. That's not something you should do for work. But if you have this hobby and you can potentially turn it into something that supports you in life financially and you still enjoy it once you're reliant upon it for your bills, go for it.